Welcome, everybody. Wow, I was really close to the camera on that one. We are back for another High Noon Live, and I am really thrilled about this one. And I'm not going to explain why I'm really thrilled, because that's a big pet peeve of mine. When people go, I'm really excited about what we're going to be talking about today. We got a special guest, and I'm going to talk about this special guest before I bring him on. That's not going to happen. I'm just going to bring him on. But until then, I'm not going to bring him on. He's going to sit quietly in the lobby and watch powerlessly as I talk. He's talking right now. He's running his mouth right now. You should see, I see that sign. He's holding up, I'm not bringing you into the broadcast, but if you guys saw what he's holding up right now, this is, dude, come on, this is a family show. It's a family show. So before, I'm going to let him chill out. I'm going to let him chill in timeout. In the meantime, I want to give a quick update on something I got going on. We've got a new posse coming out, and if you're in the group, if you're in the Facebook group, you've kind of already been pseudo introduced to the tile set for this character. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but man, the artwork just came in for this character. I'm super excited. So here he is. Let me see if my boomerism can figure this out. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, here we are. So behold that which is Maravi the Magnificent. This guy's going to be awesome. So Maravi is a character who introduces the circus posses. And so what's going to happen is in the universe of High Noon, there's a traveling circus. And you know what? I want my face bigger. I don't like my small face. I'm kind of, my narcissism's kicking in. I want to be large, but I want you to see Maravi. I can't decide which one am I going to do. Damn it. Okay, so I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to be really small right now and try to contain my big head in this little tiny square. So Maravi is part of this traveling circus in the universe of High Noon. Madme, Cleopatra, Colliers, Cirque, and Bazaar. And it's this traveling circus that goes from town to town. It woos people in, it wows them with all this stuff, and then it steals all their money. And not like in the way of like with scam games. No, they just steal the money and leave. And so Madme Cleopatra is she's basically Miss Cleo, and so she's a psychic, and I'm not going to go too deep into it, but anyway. Maravi is one of the characters in the game, and he's a magician. He's the master of illusion, and we'll go into his deck later on when it's finished. The artist is working on the illustrations. That's Mikkel. He's working on the illustrations for the special cards. The deck is done, so it's just about plugging in the special cards, and then I'll go into them. We'll do a deep dive into him as a posse spotlight, but basically. He's kind of like, you're kind of seeing the behind the scenes of magic, of real magic shows back in, the Wild West, how they did things in the Wild West. So there's some knife throwing tricks, as is implied in his hand. You see his knives, and he's got a bunch of other tricks up his sleeve. So anyway, that's Maravi the Magnificent. He's going to come. He's going to be here soon. So stay tuned for another High Noon Live when we talk about that. But that's all I'm going to talk about for High Noon today. We got a very special guest in the hizzy, and I want to bring him in right now. He's from across the pond, the other island of misfits and miscreants that were kicked off by the crown. And I feel like we are distant cousins in that way. So without whatever the French say, without further ado, I bring you Ray Cashman. Ray Cashman, welcome to High Noon Live. Say hello.
Yeehaw, g'day. Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Let's pretend like we didn't just hang out for like 30 minutes before the live stream. Let's pretend like this is our first conversation.
I know who you are.
It's so good to see you. Wow.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You're looking really young, since the last time we talked.
It's all that sunlight, you see. So it
Yeah.
just it does wonders for the complexion over
Are you
over the
working
side.
out outside? Is that what you do? You lifting the weights?
You're just walking around, staring at people. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
this is what I do. Yeah,
That's
not enough time to work out really while you're creating a card game, as you know. So yeah.
Oh yeah, yes. That's I love it when people see the final product. They're like, wow, that is so cool, man! You did all that. Wow, that must be really exciting. And you're like, yeah, not really.
No,
I
I'm done.
I forgot what
done.
air. I forgot what air smells like. We got a very eager beaver commenter in the crowd. Strike. He wants to show off. So we just run through these comments. Good evening, everyone. Hey, I'm not that bad. It's not the face, it's the hat. You have to show off the hat. It's true. It's true. When my face is really small or bigger, see more space for the hat. But now over here I gotta the hat. It's really the hat. Like when I go to bed, the hat, is beside me and tells me all the time, like, you did that on purpose. I did not, hat. I'm trying to show you off. You don't want to show me off. You don't even want anybody to know. These are the conversations.
Do you have a hat box for the hat?
What's that?
Do you have a hat box for the hat?
No, I don't. This couch behind me is not for sleeping on. I like sleeping in the bed. I know better than to put the hat in the box. I would never hear the end of it with the hat.
This is sacrilege. This is foolish of me. Sorry, hat. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Strike says more hats. You aren't presentable in public without a nice hat. This is true. Hats and vests. I'm a big vest man, and I don't. Have you watched? Have you ever seen the Blacklist? Have you ever watched the Blacklist?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, it's an amazing show. And
I thought you were going to go into The Simpsons and ask about the vest episode, but yeah.
No, of course, but of course, because The Simpsons did it. Like they do everything. But James Spader is lead in Blacklist, and he's you never see him without a nice vest.
Yep.
He even says it at one point. He's like helping a dude pick out a suit, and he's like, never forget the vest. The vest completes the suit.
Sure,
I'm a big fan of that. Anyway,
just like the hat.
Yeah, exactly. So let's bring everybody up to speed. Why the hell am I talking to you? Besides the fact that you are very attractive. I mean, my God.
You might be blush.
I felt like we needed to double down on the good looks. There's not enough good looks on YouTube, and I felt that we needed a tag team. That's a wrestling term.
Yeah.
And so,
it's much better than a Royal Rumble, isn't it? So,
hey, so let's segue right into that. So you got a game. You reached out to High Noon. You were asking some tidbits about Kickstarter, or whatever, because you have a game yourself. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah. Well, I merely reached out just to say thank you for the distant inspiration. I've been following High Noon for probably about three or so months now, and it was just an innocent little hey there, thank you so much for just giving us a couple of ideas how to run a campaign, and we got to talking, and you're in a good mood, so I was able to tell you a little bit more. But in short, it's a wrestling card game because there's a missing niche in the market for good card games with a wrestling theme anyway. My friend Seizure, who is not around on this video because he's a little bit sick right now and he doesn't want to give us the corona, if we're allowed to say that. He's a wrestling fan. I'm the smart one. I came up with all the game mechanics. But yeah, it was synergy. It brought us Power Slam, the wrestling card game, and here we are.
So you guys have a video. For those of you guys watching, this is the Kickstarter campaign has not launched, but if you look it up, if you go to, this is a great address, kickstarter.com/projects/Power Slam card game /Power-Slam-Wrestling-Card-Game / it'll bring you to this page right here. And
I wanted to add some more power slams into it as well. Yeah.
Do you have a website, like just a quick website address that would
Power Slam game, I believe it is. Ooh. Yeah, powerslamgame.com. Yep.
Powerslamgame.com. I'm typing it in right now. We're gonna see if this works. Power Slam Game. This better not bring up Pornhub. So help me. Let's see here.
I don't know if you remember Meat Spin, but yeah, I was tempted to link into that as well.
Oh wow! Oh, you no. This is a legit website you got here.
Oh, you're very kind to say it's legit.
Well, I mean, it's there. It exists.
It exists. I'm as surprised as you are, to be honest.
Well, this is cool. So you got the video and some cool imagery. You got your opt-in. This is really good. Is this ClickFunnels?
I'm not a technology Asian. I'm sorry. I don't do that stuff.
Who's the guy who does the website?
That's Seizure. So I think I think we did it through. No, I'm just guessing. I'm not going to say anything more, just in case they incriminate us.
That's fine. So Seizure couldn't be here, or your other partner. Seizure's got the seizure. Is that
Seizure's been bad since Sunday. We went to a friend's birthday, and he was coughing up a lung on Sunday. But he was doing that typical smoker thing as well. He was outside having a smoke. I was like, just don't smoke, dude. And he was like, no, I'll be fine. I was like, okay. But now he's even worse. Peter works a 9 to 5, so we only get him after hours, which would probably be about, say, 5 a.m. your time, or 4 a.m. your time. So
yeah,
I don't know how good that would be. Yeah.
The Monster energy drink I chugged might be fading at that point. Let's see. So but actually, I've actually been working with our factories that they had this whole Dragon Boat Festival thing all last week. So they were all off. And so this last night, actually, right after we talked last night, I was about to check out, and they emailed me. They're like, hurrah, we're back. We are back. Dragon Boat Festival is gone, or whatever. You know, I'm butchering the accent, but I probably lost like 4 subscribers doing that.
I was just about to log out as well. So
yeah, you were about to canceled. High Noon Live canceled. It's done. No, so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm up. I guess I'm not going to bed. So that's what I've been doing every night. So we've got a video here meeting the team. So I thought maybe we could introduce the viewers to the team that couldn't make it to the show. Is that okay?
Fantastic. Hopefully you get a real grasp on Pete's depth of character as well from the video too.
All right, perfect. Let's see here. There it is. Here we go. So let's do this thing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to remove us so we don't have any feedback. I'll bring us back.
Sure. Perfect.
Oh man. Okay, hang on a second. We got a viewer in the house saying there was no audio, so we got to enjoy it, and nobody else did. Okay, guys, my bad. This is the thing about StreamYard. They're like, do you want to share the audio? Of course I do. I'm sharing the screen. Why would I not want to share the audio? Why do you even make that optional? God. Let's try this again. Thank you to Strike for letting me know. So Strike, keep keep us honest, buddy. Let us know if the audio's in. Last time, buddy. Last time, guys. We'll watch this together this time. We'll watch.
He's all over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might change a hat for him as well while we're doing this too.
I don't pay him enough. That's all I do is steal his ideas. Actually, that's all I do. Okay, so here we go.
Hey all you marks, my name is CJ Kaiser. Let me tell you about a new exciting wrestling card game called Power Slam that I created. I'm Ray Cashman and I created Power Slam. It's a cool 2 to 4 player game where you strike, throw, and grapple to become the Power Slam champion.
I'm Peyton now, did you? It's cool.
It's a fast-paced action game that involves a lot of strategy. And it's not complicated and it's a lot of fun.
And I did the art. It's cool.
We're about to launch our Kickstarter, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook fan page at Power Slam Card Game. We're going to have a lot of fresh and interactive content, and it's going to be great. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe to all your friends because we're launching our campaign in July. So what are you waiting for? Like it now.
And I did the art.
I love it. So, when did you create that? When did you create that video? That video was
That was May, I believe. Yeah.
May. Okay. All right. Cool. And you've gotten some. You've kept your promise. You've got some great, fresh, exciting content to follow.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's fresh, but it's content.
Well, hey, there you go. Yeah, exactly. There it is. It's there. I really what turned me on to that was just I love the chemistry between you guys. I love he's like looking at his stuff. He's like, do I have it right? Oh no, it's this one. This is the these are important things, Pete. Good job. Very cool.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what's so tell me how to we could tell me how you guys met. How did you guys come together on this thing?
Sure. I've known Seizure for about 13 years. I've known Pete for 8-9 years, and we're all comedians on the Sydney comedy circuit. So we've met at horrible stand-up comedy nights, just open mics, through to more professional nights. And we got together about 3 years ago, said, hey, let's put together a wrestling card game. Pete has always been helpful with festival posters. So when it came to designing the layout for a festival or a show poster, thank you, Mr. Strike Central. I still don't know who did the art as well. I wish Pete was here to answer that question for us all. He did the posters and then volunteered to do the art for the game. We came up with mechanics, play tested it, and here we are.
How long have you been working on this game?
About 3 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let me see here. So you've got let me see. So this is like what the table look. Is this like what the board looks like?
We just put a standard setup there. So if it was you, me, Mr. Strike Central, and Pete, well then we'd sit around that way. And you can set it up so you can do a tag team Royal Rumble style as well. So we just thought that the more visuals we could put there, the easier it would be for the slow ones in class to join in.
Sure. So I heard there was like 3. It sounded like there were 3 basic moves or cards or something that you could play. I imagine there's more than that, but can you give us kind of a
of course,
maybe not a deep dive, but a surface level view of how this game is played?
Sure. So you've got 10 star power, and your star power is your health, your morale, your stage presence. So that can be affected by your 4 moves. The first one is your strike. So your strike is just a fast move, doesn't take any activation. You can play it straight away. You can damage, and those moves are typically going to be chops, strikes, kicks, elbow drops. You've got the throw move. So throw move is a little bit more powerful. Pretty quick activation for that. In the image that you've got there, down or up top, you've got the matron. So she's upside down in player 3 player 3's move group. If you match the matron, well, then that becomes an unblockable move and you do more damage. If you don't match them, well, then you can block it, and you can block that with counter cards as well, which is another card type we've got in there. Your grapple plays out like a grapple, so you put someone in a grapple, and if they can't break out of it, they miss a turn. If they do break out of it, well, then grapple's over. Great thing about grapple in a multiplayer game is that both players in the grapple are susceptible to an attack, so just like a Royal Rumble as well. So if you and I are wrestling and Mr. Strike Central wants to get involved, well, then you can target.
Strike's not want to get involved because he's not into wrestling.
Okay.
He's not. It's not cool enough for the
it's fine.
Central Strike.
If you like ganging up on your friends, it doesn't even need to be. You don't even need to be a wrestling fan. Just if you're a fan of fun and social games, this may also float your boat as well. But in the example, third player in can do some damage as well, and then you got your special moves. So those are your big showstoppers, like your choke slam, your power bombs. So they take a little bit more to activate. Once you do that, you go into your pin deck mechanic. So just like the ref, you've got your 1, 2, 3 count out.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you can't break out, game's over for you. But if you do kick out, well, then game continues.
And so, I mean, so basically, and that's the whole point is to pin everybody else out.
Yeah.
Can you interrupt a pin? Like, like you're pinning and somebody else comes in and like kicks you off that person or whatever?
Yeah. We've got it's the last fall play mode. So last fall, if you're in a position to pin someone, well, then you can play a special move and then you can break up that pin there, and then both players take damage, but then that allows you to keep on playing. How do you maybe you said this already, but how do you track damage? With pen and paper at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And
but if we get to a certain level of backing, it could be one of those cheeky stretch goals where we develop an app for you as well.
Oh, an app. Okay. You're just gonna go full bore. Like you're gonna go dial from 0 to 11. We're like right now it's we really just use leftover putt golf score trackers. We just and the pencils. We just shove those things in the box. But
exactly, yeah.
That's how we play way too much putt golf. They've actually kicked us out because we stopped playing. We just started taking the pencils.
That's fair.
Yeah. So you're gonna go from that to an app. Just nothing in between.
Nothing in between. No,
I like it. I like it. All or nothing. That's very. It's got an American ring to it. I feel.
We've got another level as well. Like if we get enough backing, well, then we may project onto the moon scoreboards as well. So we're just developing that technology in the backyard right now.
Yeah, right. Sure. That's like stretch goal number 4.
Yep.
That's awesome. This is Strike says keep track of everything on the announcer's table. I think I don't know. I'm also not into wrestling, so I don't even know what this reference is. So I'm an idiot. No. Hang on a second. Let's go back. So Strike's asking, could you imagine a celebrity deathmatch crossover with this?
I reckon you could definitely throw Bieber in there. Didn't he challenge Tom Cruise recently to a fight?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Well, Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to say, if you back us, well, then I'm sure that we could probably get a Bieber Tom Cruise endorsement as well.
Well, this actually leads me to ask. So the game comes with a set of characters that you guys have created, right?
Yeah.
Will there be any additional characters or add-ons or anything like that?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I thought that we'd just try to keep it simple as possible. With one of these projects, you never know what you're going to get yourself into. So I wanted to try to keep this one as simple and as clean as possible. A lot of the character buyers that we're coming up with is just more color commentary and something that people can sort of get onto with view to develop those a little bit later. So I think that we had our leg drop friend down the bottom. We've called him Bully Bob. So yeah, like I'd love to see a franchise develop for him where he's got his own lunchbox kit and stationery set and Lycra sponsorships as well. Yeah.
Merchandising. Power slam the flamethrower.
We've got to learn to walk before we run. So
what is your, I mean, you're going into Kickstarter. What's your strategy? I mean, do you have, it's just, I mean, I'm assuming that the product it's this game. It's one box. You get these cards. That's what you get.
Yep. That's correct.
So there's one pledge tier. Is that what you're looking at, or?
We've got a couple of pledge tiers. We've got the just the pledge manager one. We've got a postcard with some art from Pete. I believe he did the art. We've got the game. We've got the game. We've got a Hall of Fame function where you can pledge, and then we've got a Hall of Fame in the back of the instructions, which puts you in there as well as one of our valued backers.
Like a thank you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking when I was hearing it, I was thinking maybe it's I'm way on the other end of the stupid scale. I'm thinking Hall of Fame. Yeah. So like you have like this plastic container that looks like a glass container that holds the cards upright. And so it's like, it's like it's like the trophy shelf of.
Yeah, sure.
So go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say we may need to go further into production to see if we can design a specific Perspex trophy cabinet for you.
Yes.
But
as a matter of fact, I need this now. I need a belt, the wrestling belt with card holders on it.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, just a fast play holster. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's both a champion belt that I can lug around, and it holds the game. Like you just take the game off of it.
This could be a good Power Slam High Noon crossover as well. So you've got your holster packs on your belts, and
that's right. Yes, instead of revolvers, it's decks of cards and stuff. You know, actually, it's funny you bring that up. I just want to touch it. One of the reasons why, because Strike brings up a good point, which is that he's not into wrestling, and I've only recently kind of found an inner child in me that has started to like wrestling. All before it, I'm like, this is fake. This is stupid. What are you guys? Why is everybody cheering for this? You guys realize it's scripted, right? Like, you know, and I would go over and hang out with my buddies for the Royal Rumble, and they'd be like, oh my God, look what happened. I'm like, he knew he was gonna do that. Like, am I alone here? I'm gonna get a beer. You guys good? And that's what I do. I just go for the beer. But now, then I started to I don't know. I had this walkabout, this spiritual walkabout, where I realized how much of a hypocrite I am, because at that time I was a filmmaker. All I did was write scripted stuff. You know, that's all I did. It was write. So I'm like, oh, it's a TV show. Okay, I can follow along with this now. And then after that, when I started working on the Jenkins Brothers, which is a posse for High Noon, which I'm gonna share a screen here of the Jenkins Brothers. Well, the one of them. So the Jenkins Brothers is a group of moonshiners, and I wanted to have these shotgun and moonshiners, and I thought, what if there were like two dudes, like they're all kind of simpletons. One of them is a schemer. The other one's kind of like he's the brother. He follows along, and then there's just like one big brute dude he's dumb as a log, but he's huge, and he just charges down the field, and so I started looking for like a giant. I was like, and back in the day when I was developing High Noon, I was pulling images off of Google just to like have placeholders, right? And I was like, where's a hillbilly? Like, I need like a big looking hillbilly. And so you know where I'm going with this.
I have a feeling, yeah.
So I pulled up this picture of this big hillbilly, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a wrestler who's a hillbilly. This is amazing. So I sent it. I sent it to my artist, And I was like, dude, draw this guy. And so he did, and Clifton Jenkins was born. And so here's Clifton. And so initially, I wanted him to just be a brawler. Like he just ran in and did brawling stuff. But the more that I was tinkering with, the more that High Noon started evolving and I was tinkering with mechanics, I was like, he would be perfect to introduce like wrestling style mechanics, like actual real melee fighting mechanics. Because I wanted martial arts, I wanted swordplay, I want all sorts of stuff, and I was like, wrestling is a thing. So I recently revisited the Jenkins Brothers, and I recently play tested them, and so I developed a whole deck of cards for the Jenkins Brothers. I just want to kind of show. And it was just timely because I literally just did this before you messaged me. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And after I'd made this deck, it was fun making the deck. Like I was like, I can't wait to play this. And the more I was like thinking about it, I'm like, why aren't there wrestling board games? Why aren't there wrestling games? So for those watching, you're welcome. You sticking around. Here's what you get to stick around. So this is a rough shot of the of some of the cards for Clifton Jenkins.
Oh wow.
And so he's got an ability where he can run in. That's what Bum Rush allows him to just charge through people and barrel through people. Pummel allows him to play multiple cards, and it's like that common, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. And they're stomping to make the noise, and you can see it, like on a wide shot.
It's beautiful.
Like, who fights like that? Anyway, so you can throw them, and then my favorite is the running leg drop. Because at this point, I want it to be so cartoonish. Like he's just like, "Roar!" And he literally does the running leg drop. And if somebody's already prone or they're already like grappled or there's another character, Henry Greenwood, who has a bunch of wolves, and the wolves have the ability to pounce on people, and like they're basically eating at their jugular. So they're introducing a mechanic where somebody is grounded and they can't do anything. And so this is the card that, even though he's not a part of that posse, this is a card that can be coupled with that. So if a wolf from Grizzly Greenwood jumps on a cowboy and Clifton Jenkins has an opportune moment there, he could then run and do a leg drop on that dude who has a wolf on his neck.
Yeah, sure. Jeez.
So anyway, it's just this was like, in order to write these cards, I dove a little bit deeper into wrestling, and I was like, we need more wrestling games, and like there needs to be more wrestling games in existence. And there's I don't know of any. So then
there you go. It was kismet and synchronicity that brought us together.
There it is. See, and I tell you, like the hats, man. It's the hats. The hats.
Well, it cracks me up. As soon as I saw your hat, I had to run off to the second bedroom and grab my one. So I didn't think that you had a luchador mask in your hat box or anything, though.
A what mask?
A luchador mask. You know, the wrestling
yeah. No, I don't have one of those.
Yeah, I could pull mine out, but I think that Strike might get scared as well, so I won't do it.
Well, Strike doesn't have to watch. I mean, he could. What happens on High Noon Live stays on YouTube. Actually, it's actually forever. Speaking of that, that's actually why I wanted to get a story about how you met your team, because I wanted to get it on record so that when we do our follow-up video where they all jump in, they can tell you and the audience how full of crap you are.
Yeah, sure, fair enough. Yeah. I was hustling on the street.
So this is great. So you 3 years you've been working on this game. Was it your idea? Whose idea was this?
This is a point of contention. Okay, so I list Seizure and I as co-creators because Seizure wanted to come up with a wrestling card game. I would never have come up with a wrestling card game because I'd probably be similar in philosophy to you that, hey, it's all fake. It's something that I'm nostalgic for. So you grew up and, you had Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, and those larger than life personalities. But then it sort of dipped, and I didn't really follow it too closely after that. So Seizure came up to me. He's like, "Do you want to do a wrestling card game?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." So we broke down the mechanics. I came up with all the move mechanics. Seizure came up with the pin deck, and we sort of met in the middle. So I'm happy to go with co-creation there.
Okay. And then who did the art though?
I still have no idea.
Who did the art? I gotta say, I really am impressed by your green screen capabilities. That was
Okay, yeah.
I felt like I was in the auditorium with you.
I think it's the green screen capabilities and the ability to edit in that VHS static as well that really made it authentic, didn't it?
So you've got, is this I'm looking at I'm so rude. I'm looking at your stuff here.
Oh, please.
So are these actual real cards? Is this the real game, or is this like a CG rendering?
No, these was just the prototypes. This was the first run at art, and this was the first draft. So changes to card art since then. You'll notice that on those chop cards, we don't have any hints down the bottom as to how to play them.
Okay, so it's just the word chop, and you're just like,
yeah, exactly.
I guess I chopped. That's a thing that happened.
Yep. We just tweaked with the card design a little bit. Came up with a couple of different symbols. We're in prototype now. Got my little stack here, but I don't know how good or clear this will be as well. But we'll try it. Yeah. So there we go.
Let me see if I can. There, bam. Oh wow, wow, that looks beautiful. That looks gorgeous. So is this? Are you? You have a factory producing this, or what do you got?
We did. Yeah, it's we did these ones locally to start off with. We went down the highway and got some bloke who had no idea about card production to help us out.
Oh yeah, of course.
And that was fun because we need to send out a couple of prototype copies, and if you play your cards right as well, Dwight, well then we could fling a copy over to you as well if you like. So
this is the beauty of this. I love how raw this whole process is. You guys are truly independent creators. You're just a couple of comedians doing some bits and building a relationship together for, you said 13 years. You've been friends for 13 years, and one day one day he's not hacking up his lung, but he is smoking, and he's like, we should do a wrestling game because that, and you're and it's off to the races, and for the next 3 years you are creating something, you are bringing something out of the ether into the real world, and you're going. I mean, you say the story, and I'm imagining you guys are like walking down the sidewalk, cars are going by, and you're talking like, man, where do we find a card place? And like, there's maybe some cheesy independent filmmaker music playing in the background of the scene, and then boop, there's a hole in the wall, like, printer dude right next to the Chinese takey outie, and you're like, right there, let's check that guy out. You open the door, and like a little dingle bell rings, and the guy's like reading his newspaper because he's not getting any business, because who goes to printer stores anymore? And
no one.
And then oh yeah, I'm the man. What do you need? What do you need? We're busy. We got a lot of projects, a lot of projects, but I can make some work. I can make some room. I think I can fit something into the schedule. What you got? I mean, is it how close am I to how this played out?
You're pretty spot on, actually. Pretty spot on. The main differences to the story would be that we broke down our roles. So, like, I'm in, from my position in the real world, like I deal with logistics and numbers. So I was like, let's at least put together a plan and go out there. So we looked for a couple of printing places. Strike, you make some good points. We did print out our first couple of prototypes at Officeworks, which is kind of like our staples, I guess. Oscar. Okay, yeah, cool. For the acting, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, we printed out our first couple of prototypes at Officeworks, which is your staples.
Okay.
The reason why we went to the printing shop was just because we knew that we'd get a thicker card stock, we'd get them squared up, we'd get them printed on both sides, so the card has the back art as well.
Yeah.
So which was far too technical for us, and if they stuffed it up, well, then we had someone to blame as well. So we just wanted something that looked legit when we're going to that prototype stage. We've got our producer in China, so I sourced that before we even started. Like I was very pragmatic with the process. I went and made sure that we had our producer locked down, and then it was like, as soon as we've got someone who can actually produce the game, let's now figure out what else we need to do from there. So,
which factory are you using? If you know, if
I'm using China Printing for You.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. She's lovely. The person I've been chatting to from their sales department is a woman called Fanny, who is very, very quick at replies. She's boom, like just straight on it. So everything I've asked her hasn't been an ordeal or a hassle so far.
How are you communicating with
just pigeon mainly. That email. Her English is excellent. Yeah.
I was going to say we pretty much communicate when we're talking when we do like the massive logistic stuff, or we're sending over like invoices and things. We'll go email, but we primarily communicate with WeChat. So I was just curious if you did that, if you did the WeChats.
Yeah. We haven't had to go on to anything outside of emails yet. Like her communication has been on point. And I guess that was a test as well. Like if she could pick up what I was putting down and understand it and interpret through email, well then the communication's clear. Like, so I was confident in moving on to that next stage. If I did need to video chat her, that she'd understand where I was coming from.
Yeah. That's a fascinating thing. That's actually kind of one of those bubble perceptions that people have, is like they think that there's this massive language barrier between us and and China, and the thing these people went to school for business, for international business, and I mean English is the primary language of trade, so they're very good at it. We crack jokes all the time on so we I don't know if you're familiar with WeChat, but WeChat is the instant messenger of China, and it's really the economy of China. Like they pay for everything through it. And it's funny because when I first started going to overseas, I used to go overseas and source products and meet with factories, and I would spend months at a time in China every year. And the first time I went, I ran out of business cards. And so, they were like, and they would be like, "Oh, do you have a name card?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." And they're like, "Oh," and they look so disappointed. And I was like, "Well, I mean, is there another way we can communicate?" And then I started seeing them chat, and I was like, "What's that?" They're like, "Oh, this is a WeChat." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll get that." And like they were like blown away. They're like, "Oh!" And so like I downloaded it, and then after that, like I would just go around. I would never bring business cards anymore. Like everybody else is carrying business cards handing around, and they go to me and they're like, "Do you have a name card?" And I'm like, "I got WeChat." Like, "Oh, you have a WeChat? Oh, so cool! America has WeChat." So that's now my phone blows up all the time with the people. But we'll it's it's instant message, so we'll be chatting and cracking jokes. They pick up so much like. It's like even cultural stuff that you would think like would be stuff that would be funny to us, but maybe they wouldn't get it. They totally get it. It's awesome. So yeah, it's people don't know that, when on the outside. But anyway, it's mind blowing that humans are humans. It's crazy.
the people would endeavor to speak the same language as us. Like, how dare they? How dare they? It's funny that you should mention it. Like from personal experience, I've been to the States, up and down the West Coast. So I was in Seattle the last time I was in the States and managed to pick up a couple of gigs in Seattle. And so you get up on stage and you chat, and the audience is like, there's a Chinese guy who sounds Australian. What's the deal? I was like, this is what I sound like, mate. I'm sorry. Like, I can't help it.
Hello. Do you know? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, the first time I was in China, the first time I ever went to China, I was 21, so I was a kid, and I was supposed to meet this person who was going to show me all around town. We'd never met before, and the guide that I was with was not going with me.
Sure.
So this person contacted my guide and was like, they're Chinese, they're talking in Chinese, and I guess she gave them like an address. So like, just send this guy to this address, just have him get in a car and go to this place. And this is before Uber, right? This is over a decade ago. So it's old school cabs, and so they're whatever they were saying was basically like, here, just write this down, tell him to give it to the cabbie. The cabbie will take him to this place, and I'll be there. And I'll just come up from there. Simple, easy, whatever. It's what is it? A Wendy's? I'll go there. Yeah, I'll see you outside Wendy's. So we go to the cab. I give of course, at this point, there's also no Google Translate. There's nothing. There's no smartphone that will allow you to be like, okay, what does this mean? Can't do any of that. It's pretty much this. And so I get in the cab. And I'm like, and the guy's like speaking to me in Chinese, like basically like, all right, where are we going? But he's saying it in Chinese, so I have no idea what he's saying, right? And so I'm like, I think this is where I give you this card. And he's like looking at it, he's like, what the F is this, right? But he's saying that in Chinese, right? Yep. But I know what he's saying then. And then I'm like, oh, this is gonna be one of those rides. And so he drives me, and it's like he drives me an hour from my hotel. So now I'm like deep in mainland China, which is huge. Like I'm now gone. Like I could just be here and nobody would know, and that would be it. Like this is the end of my life. This is where I die. And so he drives me.
I'll tell my mom I love her. Like
yeah,
all those questions.
Unfortunately, I can't because there's no signal with my phone because like, that's it. Dang it! I should have sent off a goodbye email or something. So we get to the place where we're supposed to be, and it turns out it's not a Wendy's. It's not like a little place. It's basically like imagine that you are Chinese and you don't speak English and you're in New York, and your guide is told by the dude who's to meet you, hey, just drop him off in Central Park, like anywhere. Anywhere in Central Park. I'll figure it out. I'll find him.
It's just a small park.
Yeah, just the entire park. Just drop. It doesn't matter where. So that's what happens. He drives me to this place. It's this huge. It's apparently this like massive college campus, but it's a huge. It's huge. It's big. There are many big ones, but not like this. It's this big. So he clearly gets annoyed. Like he's driving around, and I can tell that he's flustered. Like it's gotten to the point where he doesn't even know what's on this card. Like he's reached the limit of his own understanding, and this is his language. Right? This is Chinese. He's Chinese. He should know. He doesn't know. I sure as heck don't know. And he's just driving around, and he's going blah, 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 blah. And what I only realized after he dropped me off was he was saying, this whole place, look upon this land. All the sun touches, everything the sun touches is this card.
What about that part over there?
No. That you must never go to. So of course I go there. So
straight away.
Like he drops me off, and now I'm like, I'm the only round eye in existence, right? Like I'm the only one. Everybody else is Chinese. And none of them speak English because now I'm deep in mainland China. And so
you're still 21 at this stage, or has time progressed?
I have grown hair on my chest. I actually the cab was a DeLorean.
Okay, sure.
The back seat was detached from the flux capacitor. So the DeLorean went forward in time for an hour, but I actually aged. I lost all of my hair from that trip. So I'm walking around now. I'm aimless at this point, and I remember I went to a bank because I'm like, I'll go to like banks. It's a bank. It's a big corporate thing. They'll have a phone. They'll have a phone. I can. And I get up there, and they're looking at me like, "What are you doing in this place?" And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And I'm like trying to be like, "I mean you no harm. I come in peace. you peoples, you fine earthlings of China."
You needed a pocket full of Twinkies or something just to hand them to show that you weren't a threat.
Right. Right. Here, I bestow upon you a favor. Please take this USB drive. It's from the future. And they did not want me there. They're like, no, you gotta go. You gotta go. In Chinese, they're telling me you gotta go, and I totally understand that. So I go to the next place, and now I'm like, the more I walk, the farther away I'm getting from the drop-off point of the cab. Which, in my head, I'm like, I should stay there because I shouldn't leave that spot. This is what I was taught as a child: when you're lost in the mall, just stay still. Your parents will find you.
And you didn't do anything like action hero-y as well. You didn't give him like a 20 and say, keep the meter running. I'll be back soon. Like,
I didn't know because I was stupid. Like, and I think he was done. I think he had checked out about 10 minutes into the ride.
Sure. Like pretty much when you got into the cab, that's when he was.
He was like, "Oh wow, I can't wait to file this under not my problem." So, I'm walking around completely lost, and I'm thinking like I should have gone back there and stayed, but deep down I know my parents aren't coming. Like there's no I would stay there and then just starve and die in like 4 days. So I walk, and then I end up finding like it's like a little police substation. So I walk in there, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And all I could be like was yeah, ooh, blah 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 blah, and then that worked. Like, "Oh, you want to talk on the phone?" And I was like, "No, I want you to talk on the phone to this person." So then the cop lady picked up the phone and dialed the number, and they talked, and thank God that worked. And so the cop lady like took me to where she was going, and apparently like she was leaving. That was like, it was perfect. And we met. And then I was like, "I gotta hug you." And apparently hugging is a no-no in China. So that was
you want to hug the cop.
I hugged the cop. I was like, because we're walking, and all I'm like, and like my first expedition, over there. So I didn't speak a lick of Chinese, so it was pretty much like the first time you learned Spanish, right? So I'm walking, and all I'm going is shishi, shishi, shishi. I'm butchering the word, right? I'm butchering it, but she knows, right? And so I'm just basically like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." Yeah. She's like, "Ha ha ha, bouche, and so then we go. She drops me off, and it was all fine. And then that's the dandy little story of me being lost. And I have no idea why I was telling that story, but there you go. There's.
It's a good tale. It's a good tale. Yeah,
that was my fun time. But I did. That was kind of where my first experience in like, it's truly another world. Like it's you might as well be on another planet. The language is different. The mannerisms are different. The culture is different. It's not wrong. There's nothing bad about it. But when I told this tale to a friend, I'll never forget. Well, I actually have completely forgotten how he put it, but paraphrasing, he was basically like, "Yeah, when you go there, you're basically a toddler that can do complex hand gestures. Like that's what you are." It's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Exactly. Yeah, I can't speak. I'm jibber jabber, but I can do this and whatever.
I shit myself a little bit more though than the toddler. That's all. So you are Chinese, like you're Asian. I'm from Hong Kong.
Oh,
yeah.
Not Chinese.
Oh, yeah, well, it could be soon, actually.
Nowadays I go, now that I go to China a lot, it's completely different. Like the culture of Hong Kong versus like Guangzhou is completely different. Where's your factory? Where's your factory?
I think Shenzhen.
Shenzhen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, they seemed we put it out went out to 3 groups. Another mob, they do stuff for Disney apparently, but just yeah, Fanny from China Printing for You. She was just quick to respond. She really seemed.
I wonder if I ever used them for anything.
Yeah, she just seemed to want to help us and wanted our business. So I was like, that hunger, the quick turnaround in communication seemed to be right. So that's where we went. And so yeah, we've had other little surprises. So we're thinking of with this one doing a hidden card underneath the lid. So when in wrestling you pull the chair out from under the wrestling ring and then you belt someone over the head. So
okay. So how does it? So that's going to be in the deck, or how does that work?
Yeah, they'll be under the lid. So under in the box somewhere. But we've spoken to them about production,
like a you don't know what you're going to get kind of card.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. So we spoke to them about that sort of production, and they picked up exactly what I was talking about immediately. They're like, "Oh yeah, you just want a hidden card? We can do that. We can fasten it with some tape under the box. It's going to be 4 cents to produce that for you." I was like, "Perfect, do it." So yeah, they they were great. So
how long have you been so you created that video in May?
Yep.
How long have you been marketing or pushing this? I saw that you had. I saw some pictures. We'll go to the pictures in a minute, but I saw some pictures.
Yeah, sure.
You've been doing some play tests, so your friends and family are aware of this game. I mean, you've been working for 3 years, but outside of that, community-wise, have you done any outside marketing at all? Or
that's what we've started to do now. So we're on a couple of the Facebook board game groups. So we're getting some traction there. We've sent it out. Was it comicbook.com? Their culture site and they cover a lot of wrestling. They picked us up quite early. One of their culture writers said that he has an algorithm that runs, and as soon as someone says something about wrestling and card games, he gets a notification. So
wow, he's very specific looking for that.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got a copy heading out to him, and he's lovely as well. He was just a really, really nice guy. Seemed to just understand where we're coming from. So you say, it's a very raw and a very, authentic feel for what we're doing. We haven't even put any thought into it. We're just 3 guys who just thought that we'd try to put together a card game and see how it went. So we haven't even worked on this aesthetic. So yeah, we've got that going out. There's was it the Board Game Critic? He's a guy that used to work at Hasbro. So he's worked on a couple of variations of Monopoly. He worked on voice banking, Monopoly voice banking, and a couple of other projects like Cluedo. So yeah, he's getting a copy as well. So yeah, we're starting to try to get
You're starting your press run.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just looking at this this character here. Bert Stryker.
Yep.
Very cool artwork. Whoever did it. Whoever did this artwork, very cool.
Wish I could find him and thank him.
It's a shame. It's a shame. He'll never know. He'll never know that you know what? We might as well not even talk about it then. We might as well not even mention how we feel about any more artwork. Let's just look at it and just acknowledge that it exists.
Exactly.
No sense expending emotion at it. So you've got breakdowns of these characters. Bert Stryker, you know his age, you know his height. I mean, you know his whole build and everything. So he's got a signature move. I'm assuming he has other moves. So is it like, does everybody have like a core set? Like does everybody share a core set of moves and then they have like a handful of like their own, or how does that work?
Oh, yeah. This was. We came up with the bios in case we do get funded and we've got the opportunity to sort of expand on it. So Bert Stryker, this card is the art for the Luthez press. So that's why it's his signature move. like Bully Bob, the guy who's doing the leg drop, his signature move would be the leg drop. So you don't actually pick a player or pick a character and play them as such. It's not that intense in terms of role playing. It's more a social game. And
okay, so the imagery has nothing. Like it's just imagery. Like there's
that's
nothing,
correct. Yeah,
there's nothing really that's different between Bert and let's see here. There's this actually was going to lead into something that was. Is it no? Is this is this what you're looking at to be the box right there? is this what you're looking at to be the box here? It's gonna be like a little.
That's our little prototype decks that we put together. Funny story, I glued myself to the floor while I was creating those as well. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What kind of glue were you using? That's
I was using some pretty strong glue.
You know what? Because you guys don't have the FDA over there. Like you guys can make any kind of glue you want and make it out of the souls of the babies, and as long as it sticks, it sticks.
Yeah, exactly. You see a horse, make glue straight away.
Right there, right then and there.
So yeah, it was just a tub of glue that I got from the $2 store. Accidentally glued myself to the floor while I was doing that and peeled off some skin. It was gross. Yeah.
You were sitting bare ass on the floor?
No, I was sitting right where I am now.
Imagine it. Oh God. Okay.
It's too much of a look behind the curtain right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I know you that well, but I don't know if the audience will know you that well, and I want to spare them.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
But let's put a pin in that because I want to hear all about the skin of your butt being sealed to the floor. That sounds.
Oh, no, this is my foot, so maybe it was the audio. No, it wasn't. I didn't glue my butt to the floor. It was just me.
Oh no, I just implied that it was. I didn't.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's okay, fine. So you glued your foot to the floor.
I glued my foot to the floor. Yeah. I heard something fall off the table. Couldn't find it immediately. When I'd finished assembling those boxes, I went to stand up and I was glued to the floor. So
people don't understand. Like this is actually a thing. Like this is actually common when we make games. Like for independent game creators. When we say we put our blood, sweat, and tears, it's mostly blood and tears.
There are a lot of tears.
Every once in a while it's sweat because you're moving a box outside, but it's mostly blood and tears. I remember the first time the team was like, "Hey, we need to send out some press copies, some review copies of the game." Mind you, they're all prototypes. Like your cards look amazing compared to. I would print my cards on a printer and reverse whatever, so the lines never match up.
Sure.
And I was 3D printing the miniatures in my own printer, and I was basically gluing cardstock board to cardboard, and that was the board that they're getting. It was very, very, as we say in the U.S., ghetto. Your cards look amazing. I mean, you have rounded edges. I mean, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
But I remember there was the very first day they were like, we got to set up. We got to create 10 press kits. We need them by Saturday. Go. It's Thursday, mind you. It's Thursday.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm like, all right, no problem. I got this. I get everything out. I gotta cut out the character sheets out of the cardstock. I put it down on the board. Like I literally just started. Grab my X-Acto knife, grab the ruler, right over my thumb, cut it wide open. And I'm like, well, there went that. That was my night. I'm not doing anything tonight. It's that's what we do. It's
intense.
It's part of it. It's part of the gig. You want to make a game, you will wound yourself. Whether
absolutely
on the floor, whether you cut your finger open. Have there been any other injuries that you've incurred?
Oh, just the odd paper cut, really. It's that saying about chefs. You never trust a skinny chef. You never trust a card game maker that's got all his fingers, do you? So
that's true. So you have some missing fingers. That's fascinating. Strike says, so you glued yourself so you could continue working on your project. That's dedication. That is a very, very interesting point. He glued himself down so that he could continue working. I purposefully cut myself so I could get out of working. This is the dynamic contrast.
You mentioned the 3D miniatures. I know this is you're hosting me, but I'm just intrigued about that. Like because it makes sense to go get an artist to do your art. But how did you develop the miniatures?
I got a 3D artist as well.
Okay.
We have I hired early on. I knew it was going to be a miniatures game, so I mean, in full disclosure, all of my guys came from Fiverr, every single one. So I think I told you that. I don't think I told the audience. So now they're all pretty much on my payroll because they're amazing. But we all grew together. Everybody pretty much started at their skill levels, and they were all good, but they've come a long way in the last 2.5 years. And so that's what I got a 3D artist. I was like, hey, I need some cowboys. This is kind of what they look like. And he was like, sure. And he did it. And then it was initially I was having my factory produce them, but they, it was like $800 just to get the molds just to get like the samples, and then because they would produce them. They're creating them off of they're creating them with some sort of wax or something, and they were creating like high definition. And they're I don't know, they were doing all sorts of stuff, but I don't know, like. It was like a few months before the Kickstarter campaign that I saw a Facebook ad for Anycubic's photon printer. It's like $250, and I was like, let me try that. It sounds too good to be true, but let me try it. I got it. It arrived like 2 days later. Poured resin in the vat. Put the model in, and 4 hours later, I had these models. And I had a friend who he does 3D printing as well. But he's got a ton of like huge printers. And so when I had him print some of these models initially, like it was like $110 a miniature at the time. This was back, I mean, very, very short. Like people don't realize that like it was last year that miniatures, getting your miniatures custom printed was insanely expensive. But now these new printers that have come out, you can get one for less than $300, and for $50 you can get resin that washes without any chemicals. You put it in the water, just put it in water, and you brush it use a toothbrush, clean it up, and it's done. And you can make miniatures. You can make hundreds of miniatures with that.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
It's just a matter of resin, $40-$50 for the resin. So that's
because I was thinking that's where they would get you. The printer would be cheap, but then the resin and the materials would be expensive.
Yeah, but it's like hard drives and technology. Like our technology has become so cheap over time. Like, I went to get a new thumb drive, and it was like I was like, what do they got? They have like terabyte thumb drives for like $15. You're like, what?
That's wild, isn't it?
Why did this happen? You realize that's a solid state drive. Like that is a solid state drive. There was once a time where it was like you could get a solid state hard drive and you were paying like $100 a gig. So like, and or $100 100 gigs or whatever it was, $1 a gigabyte. But you can get like a and I'm being hyperbolic, it was not a terabyte thumb drive, but it was like 75 gigabytes of a thumb drive for like,
it's big. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so technology gets cheaper no matter what industry. Resin is no different. And actually, as a matter of fact, I'll bet Fanny has some contacts with some resin factories up there. And you're
for a resin, okay? So
Australia is pretty. I mean, you're not far from Hong Kong, right? You're not far from the ports.
That's 8.5 hours, but in the current climate, we're far from everyone right now.
No, that's true. That's true. So I had a question. Let me see here. So these were some characters. So you're saying that there's functionally there's no difference between Miss Afro and Babe Watch.
No.
Is it right?
No, we just thought we'd come up with a little bit of a backstory now. I guess it's that principle in writing that you flesh out your characters, so then you've got that story arc ready to go. But the game as it stands is just a social game that you play in 15 to 20 minutes, and there's no real playing or anything.
Right. It's a drinking game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, so you've put this out there, you've put it into the board game groups or whatever. Have you gotten any backlash for for your representation of any of these characters?
Not yet. No.
Otherwise, pretty positive or whatever.
Yeah, we tried to run the full gamut. So we've made sure that we've represented old white dudes, young black women, men of mixed Asian descent. We've got the luchadors, so we've got some Mexican themed ones. So we've covered all bases. The most interesting comment that we've had back is these characters look too aggressive. Maybe you could make them look friendlier. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, okay, we'll pass that up the chain. We'll get back to you.
We'll let you know when we release Happy Wrestler. But,
right. We don't wrestle, we hug.
Exactly.
Very, very energetic hugging. We're very passionate about our hugs.
It's not a grapple, it's a cuddle.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So I'm seeing this picture. This is a play test I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's correct.
You got, I mean, it looks like are all these people playing this game?
This was, so this is the guy on the left of Seizure is Evan Donahue, who
The Flash?
That one there.
Mm-hmm.
Flash, yes. He is one of the producers for Blood on the Clock Tower, if you've heard of that.
No.
Okay.
I'm
social deduction game.
Now I'm going to have heard of it now.
Yeah.
You have been introducing me to some serious culture, my friend. This is what was that band? That was amazing.
Tism. Have you been cranking it recently?
No, okay. I have not. You know why? Because it's stuck in my head. I don't have to. I'll be like, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll get my coffee, and I'll be sitting there and I'll be thinking about it. I'll be thinking that guy. He's like, hey, and like the dudes are just like smoking in front of him, and then they just beat him up. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Segued
out, but Evan is one of the producers of Blood on the Clock Tower. He holds a twice a year festival at home called the Salisbury Games Festival. So yeah, we played it there, and I think that we had 6 people playing it. Yeah.
Okay, so you can. What's the maximum amount of people that can play this game?
We say 2 to 4. But yeah, you know.
But theoretically, like break the barriers. How many people can play this game?
I reckon you could get away with 6 on a deck. Yeah. You
could get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, push it. Well, where are we at? Can you do 8?
Between you and me, yes.
Yeah.
I reckon we could probably do maybe 8 or 9. Yeah. Yeah.
That's epic. That's epic. I mean, you could do it. It's a bad idea, but you could do it. Is what you say, right?
You definitely could. I just found that to keep the game going, 4 paced it well. 6 pushed it a bit because you're waiting too long for people to play. And I wouldn't recommend anything more than 6 anyway. So yeah, 4 I found had that good mix between interactivity and waiting for someone's turn.
So, all right. So this person's playing as 1, 2, 3. Is she playing 1?
I think she's got cards in front of her. 2. Yeah.
Okay, 3, 4. I'm assuming it doesn't look like he's playing. It looks like he's the ref. Was Seizure playing 4? He's playing 5.
I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, I think we've got 8 in there, don't we?
Bam! What'd I tell you? Look at that. Look at that. You holding out on me. You're
the oracle.
That's right. And don't. You can't cross this. Come on now.
You see it all. I can't hide anything from you.
They're having a great time. I think it's just a matter of how much alcohol you have.
I think so as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there you go. There you go, guys. You can get thumbs up from Seizure on an 8-player. Don't listen to this dude. Don't listen to this Ray character.
I don't know any.
Look at Blood on the Clock Tower guy. Which, by the way, let me see here if I can get this. So this is Blood on the Clock Tower. This is the game right here, Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
All right. What do we got here? So this guy, you were. This is at his house. You were playing.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, look at that. He's got 283. This is in the community. This is Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
Wow. And so he does. So what's his festival that he does?
He just hosts his place. He's a board gamer. He's a comic as well. So he started with this back in the day. At all the shitty open mics that we used to do, and then he sort of dropped out of the scene, and then he resurfaced with this. And they've been touring, they've been going to festivals, but there's the production going on for their game as well. Yeah,
making copies. This one, look at this, guys. Making copies by hand. I'm not trying to derail. We are all in on Power Slam today, but when we're talking about the links that people don't realize, like the links that you will go to making the game. Yeah, I buy it. I bet he's making this. Is that crack? He's eating saltine crackers, making this by hand. Look at that. That is some dedication. I'm kidding. I don't know if those are crackers. They look like crackers. Maybe that's just me being hungry.
Probably just wafers.
Yeah. Is that what you guys eat over there?
Yeah. The Jesus crackers. They're probably the.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, you're gonna need those. I mean, with this kind of devilish game, you need to back it up. You need to imbue yourself. You bless the carpet, Lord, and make sure that no. Yeah. Okay. So wow. So you play with the big boys in the big leagues here.
Oh no, we're just lucky that one of our mates happens to have a fairly successful game so far. That's all.
Well, I hope yours will be successful too. It seems like a lot of fun. I got to be honest. I mean, I haven't played the game. Who am I to judge? You've got a crowd of people here that look like they're having a great time as it is. I do think if you're gonna have these colorful characters, this really cool artwork, whoever did all this art, I think you should. I think each one should have like one card. Just like give them one card that's their card,
sure.
And that they can play it. But I like it. So it's a very casual. So Power Slam is a very casual drinking game, party game. You're sitting around the table late at night, like I guess the party's chilled out, and but the show must go on. You want to keep it going. People don't want to leave, and you know what? Somebody just brought. Oh my gosh, where did this bottle of Hennessy come from? Oh, and so like, what do you do with it? You pull out this little game, Power Slam. Hey everybody, let's play some Power Slam, and bam, you got a table full of fun. And there you go. That's pretty much it. How long does it take you to set up the game?
Setup is 4 steps. You've got a full playthrough in about 15 minutes.
Can Strike says 8 players with 2 players opposite of each other playing at the same time. Can you? So So I'm assuming that it's geared for Royal Rumble, but can you do like teamsies? Can you tag team?
We've got a tag team element that we're working on right now. We're just playtesting it, but you'll have your partner that you're going to be playing with. So you'd be sitting opposite them, and you would use a counter card to tag yourself in. So you could set up your moves ready to go, and then you tag yourself in, and then you could unleash a choke bomb or something like that straight away, and then tag yourself back out again. So. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say there's a couple of fun little elements that we've got, like the tag team, like Royal Rumble. We're looking at things like ladder matches as well. So it just comes back down to trying to make a simple, clean product first of all that works.
Right.
And then if it's successful and if there's the market for it, well then we can build on the expansions, and it can be fan driven as well. So if someone wants to see something that they like from the WWE licensing permitting, we could try to incorporate it.
I think it's got legs, man. I think there's some serious potential for this game, and I would love to get a copy. But it's fine. I'll buy it on Amazon when it comes out.
No, it's quite all right. I've got a box full of prototypes. So I think that the least I could do is fling one across the pond to you. So
hey, you do that, I'll take pictures. I promise. We maybe even do a video, maybe even do a live stream of it. So it takes 15 minutes, about 15 minutes to set up. You say?
Oh no, 15 to 20 minutes to play through. Setup's all of about 30 seconds.
Okay, that's impressive. So 30 seconds, you're in. Everybody, basically the amount of time it's going to take longer to sit everybody down and shut the F up so we can go over the rules to actually play the game, actually set it up.
Exactly, yeah. So we've come up with a couple of how to play cards as well. So we're trying to make it as intuitive as possible, so you can pick it up and play the game literally once you've had your cards dealt and shuffled out. See, Strike knows what I'm putting down.
Yeah, he's a sharp cookie. You gotta jump in. You gotta jump in the Discord channel if you haven't already and play some High Noon. Strike is a fun character to hang out with.
Okay, sure.
So 30 seconds. So 30 seconds about shuffle some cards, dish them out, and then you're off to the races, and then you can play the game in 15 minutes, and then you can play again. Like what's the replayability like? Like what's the
it's not too bad. Oh well, Mrs. Cashman's just come back home actually, so we've got a special guest dropping in on the guest.
Hey, how's it going?
So
no, you're fine.
This is Dwight. Oh, she's out. Yeah, there you go.
You had to sneak away.
That was Mrs. Cashman, everyone.
There it is.
She's just taking my table snacks as well. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
What a pleasant surprise. So
that's the thing. People don't understand. Like it's there's a lot that goes into making a game. And I'll bet in the 3 years, at least twice in your 3-year journey of making this game, you thought to yourself, what the hell am I doing? This is stupid. This is going to be a total failure. I abort. And you have a supportive woman there at your side going, you're a rock star. This is going to be amazing. You stick with it. You can do this.
I'd change that slightly and say twice a day.
It's like, yeah, you should quit. This is stupid, honey. This is not even cool.
No, she usually walks past. It's like you're
terrible.
she usually walks past like you're a dickhead. Like just
that is, you know what? There's that Aussie tendency I love so much right there. It's just taking the piss, as you say, right?
What we do.
Yeah. So okay. So what are the average amount of games that are played in a sitting is what?
Say 2 or 3. Because people want to try to get even. So once you've gone ahead and asserted your dominance, well then you're out. So I don't know. I guess we got inspired as well a little bit by other fun social games like Sushi Go. Have you played that?
Sushi Go?
Sushi Go, yeah.
No, but I'm sure that people watching this have heard of it. So
maybe. So that's again a fun little social game, and you'll play probably like 2 or 3 games. The good mechanic in that is that you have to play a couple of different times because it gives you like a running tally throughout the game. So we weren't smart enough to come up with a mechanic like that, but we've got, in answer to your question earlier, we've got a couple of different play modes. So you've got your heads up play, then your tag team, your Royal Rumble, your last fall, your first elimination. So you've got different ways of playing it. We've even got a hard mode in there as well. So yeah.
What's this game going to run? Let's talk turkey. What are you looking at retail on?
We have been able to produce it at 40 Australian. So 40 Australian pesos compared to the mighty US dollar, I think is about $25 US.
That's what you think it'll retail about?
No, that's going to be our Kickstarter level.
Okay.
So we're only going with a short run. The campaign to back it, we've gone for $10,000 US as well. So that will allow us to print it and then hopefully go into reprint as well. So I'd like this to be an ongoing thing. So I'd like us to be able to print this out and then have the capital to expand and then reprint a second edition as well.
Well, this could be important. I want to make sure I understand this correctly. The Kickstarter campaign is just to fund that production run, like just the production run of the pledgers that are there. Like $10,000 is your goal. That's what you said you're shooting for. Let's start there.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, and so $10,000 is gonna allow you to produce this game, but are you saying that you're basically gonna just be producing it for the people who backed it, or is this going to produce enough for you to actually have copies to put into the retail market?
Yeah, we'd have enough copies to go into distribution as well.
Okay. So what is the retail price that you're thinking?
Yeah, $25 US.
$25 US. Okay.
Yeah.
So the pledge, basically it's a pre-sale pledge. The pledge at $25 will get you the game right off, hot off the press. Otherwise, you can wait till it gets to the market, and it'll be $25 for the game.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll have some Kickstarter exclusives with it as well.
Sure. Yeah. Like a chair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's
but
perfect.
you didn't hear it from me. Okay, so there is no chair.
There is no chair. Maybe some like special moves, like some unique exclusive Kickstarter moves. Would that be something that they could expect to see?
Yeah, we've spoken about that as well. So we realized that we don't actually have a Power Slam move card. So yeah.
So what is this, amateur hour?
I know, right?
I'm talking to you. What the hell's wrong with you people?
I know, but
take that hat off. Take that hat off. You
sorry, sir. Sorry.
No. Put that hat back on.
I'll put on the luchador mask instead.
That hair is way too girly. That hair is way too girly. It looks like some hair somebody with cold hands would.
I styled it beforehand. We've left ourselves the opportunity to create the Power Slam card. So we're thinking that one can fit in as like a wild card or a joker card into any move set. We've come up with a management card. So the management, you'd play it and you have to hand in your entire hand for inspection. So a couple of those sort of cards as Kickstarter goals and Kickstarter exclusives.
Strike has a cool concept. This is the thing. Strike always comes up.
Yeah, that's great.
And then I steal them. So his cool idea for you to steal is returning champion cards, a special card awarded for winning the previous match. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be great. We've come up with the championship belt, but we could come up with we could come up with the strike award or something like that to honor the man that's come up with it.
Something that everybody wants, and then I think what he's getting at is it's something that would affect the gameplay of the next game, that everybody would want it, and at the same time everybody hates the person who gets it.
Sure.
it's like a douchebag card. All right, great. Well, okay, so we're looking at $25 would be is the goal tier. $25 retail pledge. That's a very affordable game for something that you can play in 30 seconds, and it'd be a 15-minute game, and with crazy awesome replayability, casual setting for anybody. It sounds like you don't have to really be a fan of wrestling to play this game. It's really a matter of like, do you like sitting down in a chair? Do you like trolling your friends? And do you like drinking alcohol? And do you like cards? Like, if you like these things, then here you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we didn't really try to reinvent the wheel with this one. We just went with what we liked and tried to make a game out of it.
Well, this is I definitely want to revisit this game you guys, and I'd like to have you, Seizure, and Pete on the next stream so we can talk about it. I'd like to do maybe a gearing up show, and then maybe one during the Kickstarter campaign where we can drive some traffic to it and get you guys some pledge backers.
You're the boss, so yeah. Well, you say jump, I say how high.
That's 4 feet. Go.
No, I can't. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You put it out there. You put it out there, and then I obliged, and you just showed your hand, sir. Showed your cold hand. Which, by the way, guys. You guys need to look up Ray Cashman on Facebook and scroll down his timeline. Just stalk him like an ex-girlfriend, and you're gonna find some really funny posts, including this one where he trolled some other dude's email, like that. What was that, James Weish or whatever? That guy who like responds to scam emails. That was epic what you did. So very funny post on his very public Facebook profile. So you guys go look at that. And look up Power Slam on Facebook. You can find it with, I think, at Power Slam Game. I think I put the link in here. And then you said powerslamgame.com. Is that the web address?
That's the web address as well, yeah.
All right. So powerslamgame.com. When are you thinking the Kickstarter campaign is going to launch?
We're looking the 30th of July our time, which I think is the 29th of July your time, because we're slightly more. I'm talking to you from the future, so
it's crazy, right? What is time? What is time? Who are we?
It's a construct. Yeah.
What matters? Strike says High Noon Power Slam crossover. I think that's going to happen. Let's just say that that's going to happen.
You've already started it.
It's true. I think we both started. I started it in the past. You start in the future. Our time traveling trains will collide at some point. Ray, it's been great having you on this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Dwight. Yeah.
So last time for everybody, powerslamgame.com. Just Facebook Power Slam, 2 words. If you do Power Slam, wrestling, card game, any of those words, you'll find the Facebook page. Click it, give it a like, give it a follow. And then go to their Power Slam game thing, subscribe to it so you can get notified, and then just stay tuned for future shows when we talk. You got anything that you'd like to leave off with the people?
Just happy slamming. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Happy slamming.
Yeah. Do you got your ukulele?
you don't want to hear that. No.
Yes, we want to hear it. We want to hear it. Get it.
Over the corner. Oh,
come on, get it. Get it. Yeah. We're going to hear his ukulele. All right. Ray is a world-renowned ukulele player. Awesome songs on his Facebook. You can find these on his Facebook, guys. But I am so excited. This is about to happen. We're about to hear it. So what are you going to play for us? What are you going to play for us, Ray?
I have no idea. What would you like? How about I just try to play a couple and you pick them out, okay?
Okay, ready, go.